On our last episode here of Cardinal Rule, we met Armada, a Lasombra of the Black Hand, who was plucked out of the Gehenna warfields and sent to Quebec City to investigate the sudden disappearance of the Cardinal of the Sabbat there, Anabelle Vadeboncoeur. On the way there, Armada met Stacy, a member of the Camarilla, who was sent to do exactly the same. He was sent to investigate the disappearance of the Cardinal. The two decided to work together, which is a little bit strange, perhaps, for a member of the Black Hand and an Alastor, but the circumstances surrounding the disappearance of the Cardinal are a little bit strange. So the two of them decided to work together and started investigating this club called Dagobert's in Quebec City, where the entire leadership of the Sabbat, what was left of the leadership of the Sabbat, disappeared one night a few weeks ago. The investigation led them to discover that at some point at midnight, a strange figure in red had come into the bar while it was filled with humans. Had started walking through the bar and had caused the humans to start to kind of lose control a little bit. Soon after, he was followed by a woman in blue. The two of them managed to make their way to the top floor where they encountered the leadership of the Sabbat and disappeared behind closed doors with them. A lot of them were not seen again. However, just before all of that finished, while investigating the security tapes, Armada and Stacy noticed that the figure in red wrote on the wall a message to Armada herself, calling out Armada directly, with a message written in blood saying, "Armada, let's play." And so the two of them decided to investigate further and have entered into the room after Armada discovered that there's something going on in the club that is corrupting or interrupting her access to the abyss, from whence her powers come. And that's where we pick up tonight, as the two of them have continued advancing forward deeper into the club and are about to enter into the inner sanctum where the elders of the Sabbat ostensibly disappeared. To begin with, as always, a few words of poetry, this time by Stephen Dunn, a poem called Emptiness. I've heard wise men talk of a divine emptiness, the body free of its base desires, some coiled and luminous God in all of us waiting to be discovered. And I've always pivoted, followed Blake's road of excess to the same source, and know how it feels to achieve nothing. The nothing that exists after accomplishment. And I've known the emptiness of nothing to say, no reason to move. Those mornings I've built a little cocoon with the bed covers and lived in it almost happily, because what fools the body more than warmth? And more than once, I've shared an emptiness with someone and learned how generous I could be. Here. Take this. Take this. One wiser than I once said that humans cannot stave off the apocalypse because it is impossible for them to imagine a world without humans. And so, as the bard said, enterprises of great pith and moment lose the name of action. In effect, they are doomed because they cannot imagine themselves doomed. But we kindred know better, or at least some of us did. We knew the threat posed by the antediluvians and the Methuselahs, epic old corpses rotting away in deeply buried tombs waiting for, well, who knows what they were waiting for. And these ancient ones are just like humans. They will devour everything until nothing is left to devour, and then turn on each other, and then wither and die because they cannot fathom a world without them. Abandon all hope. Or, as Blake put it, When sin claps his broad wings over the battle and sails rejoicing in the flood of death, when souls are torn to everlasting fire and fiends of hell rejoice upon the slain, who can stand? Gehenna is upon us, and to cling to hope is to cling to the weight that will drag us beneath the waves. Abandon all hope and free yourself. Free yourself of bondage, of expectations, of dreams that can never be, of disappointment. Abandon all hope and be free. No one inherits anything. There is nothing to inherit. All must end. All must fade to nothingness. Only then can it begin again. The two of you have made your way into a room behind the strange painting, if you will, of the inverted crosses and the message left behind about the mother, the daughter, and the infant. You open the door and you see red. The room is entirely red. There is somewhere in the center kind of trapdoor of some sort. There are lights coming through, skylights falling down on this trapdoor. There is red rain, that same red liquid that was dripping down the walls, and now you realize why it was dripping down the walls on the lower levels. The floor is entirely covered of it. This red rain is dropping from somewhere. It's impossible to tell where. The floor is entirely covered of it, and as it makes its way towards the walls, it slips through cracks in the floor and drips down into the lower levels along the floors. It looks like blood, and it has the same texture and consistency, but it doesn't smell like blood, and it's not blood. We've already established this. Otherwise, the room is quite dark. There is a sense of something strange and alien. Something that doesn't welcome your presence here. But how did you get here? We know how Armada got here. But how did Stacy get here? Stacy, it was a few weeks ago. You were standing in a penthouse in Detroit, looking over the lake, just late at night. The lake was black, an inky black that made it look as if there was nothing there, just an incredible, incomprehensible depth. And as you stood by the large bay window, still covered in the blood of the one you had killed not long before, you stared out at that water. What were you thinking about in that moment?
Anytime Stacy is presented with a large body of water, it's almost like he disassociates, especially after finishing a mission. He closes his eyes, and for a moment, he can smell it. But it's not the water he's staring at. He's back home, off the coast of his island. And every single time he looks, He remembers that day of his embrace. The sun's touching his face. He's bending down on the edge of the water line, and he's washing his hands, and he can see little pools of red blood that are coming off of his hand as he grazes over his arm where he just received his tattoo. He thinks to himself, today's it. Today's the day. You're strong enough. You've passed the first step. Today's the first day. Then he takes some of the water and he splashes it on his face, and his eyes close again. And when they open it up, it's dark. Black night, that inky black water. And he's in that same spot, but he's being held by two elders of his tribe. With his chief, Tapua, holding his head. Blood dripping from his mouth, his blood. He's not Stacy in this moment. He hasn't been Stacy yet in this moment. This is Sifa. Staring into the eyes of his chief, being bestowed the gift, the strength of his tribe. And he looks at him. And he just hears it. This is where you lose your heart and replace it with mine. A warrior's heart. And he's tossed into the sea. Slowly slinks down, trying to gasp for air, but there's no air to gasp. And he struggles as he floats back to shore after hours, potentially. It's still night. He stands, looking for air. And he closes his eyes again. He opens it back at that window.
How come you're always out there looking at water? Every time I come upon you, you're staring at water. What is it about the water?
Holds so many secrets for us. So many things. It sees everything. And it's dangerous. But you have to replace your heart.
I take it that there's some sort of meaning behind this.
Do you know anything about me, Reese? Anything at all? Royce, sorry. I'm a little...
I can see that you're
worn.
A little emotional there. Everything okay with you, big guy?
I'm tired. But that's not what you pay me for, right? You don't pay me to be tired. You pay me to be strong. You pay me to finish the task, so I'll finish it.
And you are that. You are strong. You do finish the task. I didn't even know she was back on the menu. Pretty good job taking care of her like that. She's a mean one.
It wasn't easy, but I got it done.
That's what I like about you, Stacy. You get it done. He comes and he stands next to you, sees reflection in the window as he stares onto the water. For being one of the most feared members of the Red Alastor, someone who exclusively works the Red List, someone who's killed several of the anathema on the Red List, Royce is a very unimposing, unimpressive, bland, the blandest white dude you could ever meet. Bland suit, bland face, bland everything. And he looks out onto the sea. And then he looks to you. Yeah, what you mean. There's An unknowable depth there. There's darkness and places we'll never know. Even those of us who don't breathe, who could literally just walk out down there. No one does that.
Or you could be tossed and wait to see what floats out.
Yeah, it's kind of like a description of our job, isn't it?
More ways than you know, Royce.
Hey, thank you, Genuine Jim, for the raid. Appreciate you, and thank you for the bits and donations that I saw go by earlier. Thank you, everybody. Really appreciate your support. And yes, big shout out to Varl, also our other mod who's here. Sorry I forgot you earlier there, Varl. He turns around, leans against the window, his back to the water. I hate to do this to you, but you got another raid from the Cultured Gamer. It's 2 raids in a row.
Oh, jeez.
Thank you so much.
Definitely don't hate that.
I hate to do this to you, but you're the only guy I got anywhere near here. Hey, Quindamad, thank you so much for the raid. Wow, we're like, I feel like Northern England in the 1900s being raided by the Vikings left, right, and center. You're the only person, you're the only one I got anywhere near here, and I got a job in Quebec. Think you're up for it?
No. Canada? No. What? Why?
What's wrong with Canada? You know I'm Canadian, right?
It's cold. You're sitting me in the middle of the winter.
You are currently...
I don't know how to tell you this.
You're currently in the only major city in America that is actually further north than the most southern point of Canada. You know that, right?
I didn't say I liked this either. I'm from an island, Royce. Why do you keep sending me to snow?
Just consider yourself a worldly man. You get to travel around, see the world. Did you ever think you'd end up in Canada killing people? No, but here you are.
What is it?
Quebec City. It's held by the Sabbat. Only thing is, they've all disappeared. Or at least, the leaders have. Cardinal is a Ventru named Anabelle Vadeboncoeur. She used to own Montreal also, till she lost it to the Camarilla in the 70s. Her and the other elders, whichever ones were left behind, the rest all went to fucking throw themselves into the jaws of death at Gehenna. Everyone's were left behind. All walked into a bar one night, and if you know that sounds like a joke, it's not, because they literally vanished in thin air.
Okay. So
Anabelle is on the red list. So we're interested in her for that. 2, elders like that don't just vanish into thin air. Chatter is that no one knows what happened. This isn't a Sabbat thing. They're falling apart in any case. But there's also a 3.
Oh. Since we're here, enlighten me.
Word we're getting is that the Sabbat's sending one of theirs, Black Hand, to investigate.
Yeah.
This is someone we've been considering putting on the red list for a while. Her name's Hand Lasombra.
Reason?
She's killed a whole lot of people. People that we
So
like.
have I.
Yeah, but you killed the people we don't like.
I gotcha.
People like Armada and Cardinal Vadeboncoeur. So what I need you to do is to go there and take a look and see if you can figure out what happened to the Sabbat leadership, because if elders are just going to start disappearing, we might want to know. And then I want you to see if you can size her up. One, see if you think that we should be putting her on the red list. And two, if you think so, then you get the opportunity. Well, killing two birds with one stone is always a good thing.
And then a vacation.
Anywhere you want. All expenses paid. Want to go back to the island?
Can't go back. Burned down anyway.
Well, it's climate change for you.
And yet you still send me to the fucking snow. I'll do it. I have nothing else to do.
He hands you an envelope. He's like, there's a little place we reserved for you so you can go and get yourself cleaned up and sorted out. It's about 16-hour drive. Sorry, it's about a 13-hour drive to Quebec.
Okay. It's fine. This is codename Sister. I assume that's the call code.
I don't come up with them, man. I just put people and paper together.
Sure. Let's do that. About my sister. I'll figure it out. All right.
And as you stand in this red room, you're reminded of that moment with Royce, that moment where he talked about places that even kindred don't go to. And as you're standing here looking at this thing, you're thinking, this is probably one of those places kindred shouldn't go. But here you are, and standing next to you is Armada. What do the two of you do?
With this in front of us, I want to just look over at Stacy. What does your face look like? What's your body like? How are you presenting yourself? With, audio so we can hear it.
That was all a bit.
Commit to the bit. Commit to the bit.
Very cautious. He's standing next to you, but it's almost kind of like he's got 1 foot back just in case he needs to kind of bug out of here. This crusty vibes in this room. And he looks at you and he's like, what?
You scared?
No, I have to take a shit. You don't feel that?
I mean, spooky. I've seen worse.
I'm sure you have. I'm sure you've caused worse.
Don't flatter me. Do you want to taste it?
All right. Who's flattering who now? The fuck?
Nah, you wouldn't be able to handle it anyway. It's very interesting. Where do you think it's coming from?
I don't know. I don't know.
When you look up, you can see that the ceiling of the room is just this vast dark space. It's almost as if the ceiling is so tall that it disappears into darkness, and the rain is just falling out of that darkness that's hanging over your head.
Can I have shadow perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Would I be able to put my senses into it to kind of see where it goes?
You can certainly try.
Okay.
Is there a way that we could tag team this with like my Sense the Unseen?
Okay. I'm going to... I'm gonna just go and read what that power that you want to use does.
With shadow perspective.
Okay. So I'm not gonna have you add on to Rachel's role, but I'm gonna have you do your own because you're gonna see different things. Okay. So go ahead, and these are both going to be your mental, and you're both going to roll. Ian, you're going to roll with insight if you have it, and Rachel with occult if you have it, which I'm looking at your card sheet and you do.
Great.
Don't forget your hunger dice, because some of you are pretty freaking hungry right now. And don't forget you have a bunch of 9 moves. I don't know how many you have, but you probably have like 8 or 9.
9 moves gives us an additional 1 or 2. Oh, sorry.
No.
Night move, if you use a night move, it allows you to roll your D10, your regular D10 with advantage. So you roll 2 and you pick whichever one you want.
I'm going to do that for sure.
I as well.
Remember, if your hunger die return, you have to pick, when you roll your hunger die, you have to choose the one that is highest. And if one of them's a 10 or a 1, you have to tell me.
Okay, no one's on my hunger.
I did have a 9, but I also have a 1 on a hunger die.
You have a 1 on the hunger die, and was your roll a success?
It
or did
was,
you get
yeah,
on your regular dice?
Let's see, 9 on a die, so that's 14, 15.
Okay, excellent. So the 1 doesn't matter then, that's cool.
Incredible.
All right, you said 15, and what about you, Ian?
13. 7 on the hunger.
Okay, so this is what the two of you are going to see. You reach out to the darkness, Armada. You let your senses sort of be enveloped in it. You sort of place your perspective in it. And the first thing that you feel that resistance that you felt earlier, that kind of strange corruption or whatever it is that's kind of affecting the shadows and your contact with the abyss. And you feel a resistance to what you're doing, but you manage to push through. You have enough of a good success that you manage to push through. It's almost as if your point of view is inverted, and now you're looking down at yourself and at Stacy standing in this room. You're seeing this red rain that's kind of dropping down now all around you onto this strange kind of trap door that's elevated and kind of raised, almost kind of like a little dais maybe or something like that. And you're feeling your perception keep going further and further and further and further away, as if you're in this unending kind of siphon that is pulling you sort of further and further away from here. You kind of put the brakes on that. And as you look around the room, let me just check one thing here. You also have to do a rouse check. Did you do a rouse check, Rachel?
No, I was waiting for you to call for it, actually.
Yeah.
I did succeed.
Okay. So normally what the shadow perspective allows you to do is it allows you to see and hear from the point of view of the shadow rather than your own. So it's not 100% super useful in this particular case. However, what I will give you with it is you notice that one of the walls, just off to your left, is hidden behind shadows, and that there's like an alcove or like kind of another room there, and you can see that there is someone in there.
Interesting.
For your role, Ian, what you get is you see Armada sort of look up into this darkness, and you see her eyes roll back in her head, and you feel then, the second that happens, you feel like you're being watched. You feel like there's something in that darkness above that is watching you, but with your senses, with your enhanced senses, as you reach out to that, you notice that there's something else behind it. There is something else in that darkness that is looking not at you, but that has just taken notice of Armada as she switched her perception into the shadows. It's kind of like you spotted the spy looking at the spy kind of thing.
Huh.
I think I retract my senses as soon as I see this person, and you see Armada whip her head around to that wall and be like, "Hey, you want to come talk, or we gonna duke it out?"
There's silence for a moment, and then,
Come
I
on.
just hope you're
know
not
you're
thinking
there.
of going down in there.
Why?
The shadows dissipate. As you say, why? The shadows dissipate, and you can see that there's a little alcove that's hidden there, and there's this sarcophagus there, this dark glass sarcophagus that is kind of embedded in this recess and this little kind of alcove that's there. And the cover of the this coffin, the sarcophagus, is open, and you can see sitting on the edge of it, looking kind of groggy. You can see a man who seems to be kind of, like I said, a little bit groggy. He's having kind of difficulty kind of moving. He's very languorous. You can tell basically that he's someone who's just come out of torpor. He's
All
definitely
right.
a vampire. Who the hell are you two?
Who are you?
Oh. My name is Felix. This is my club. Who the hell are you?
This is your
Patrons.
I don't think this place gets patrons anymore. Not after what happened.
You just napping? Is there a reason why it's raining in here?
He gets up and he seems to notice the rain for the first time. Like, what the fuck is this shit?
Yeah, it's a good question.
Fuck, it's everywhere. The fuck
Yeah.
did they do to my place?
They?
Anabelle and her fucking cronies. Jesus Christ, I fucking go into torpor for 6 months. Jeez.
Willingly?
Who the fuck are you guys?
This is Ursula and I'm King Triton. Willingly?
Yeah. He said what he said. Answer the goddamn question.
You two got some fucking mouths on you. Ain't you ever learned fucking manners?
We could put you back. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure.
You
We
want-
could do that, right?
You want to try? Is that what you want to do? This is my place. You're in my domain.
Okay. So, look, you're in torpor. You wake up. This place is bloody as all hell. Do you know about what happened here?
You still haven't answered my goddamn question, and I'm really losing patience.
What was your question? I wasn't listening.
Who fuck are you? Two fucking clowns.
Armada.
Stacy.
Nice to meet you.
Pleasure.
Is that so fucking hard?
Okay. So anyway, yeah. Do you know what's happening here? You obviously don't know
I
why
don't
it's
know.
raining blood,
I
but
don't
do you
know.
know?
I don't know
Hmm.
what's going on. Some of it's coming back to me. It's a real fucking mess. To answer your question, yeah, I went into torpor willingly because I didn't feel like going to the fucking Middle East and fight some goddamn fucking Methuselahs. Thank you very much.
Oh, but you should have gone. It's so fun.
No, I don't fucking think so. I haven't spent fucking 850 years on this fucking planet to just toss it away on a weekend in fucking Karachi or whatever, fighting some fucking thing that's thousands and thousands of years old that I would never fucking understand.
Does it still call you? No?
Yeah, not as strongly though. I got over the worst of it.
I was there.
Color me surprised. How'd you manage to come back?
Oh. Well, I'm here looking for some missing people that disappeared here, I guess.
That'd be Anabelle. They're gone, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah, you know why?
No. Look, when I'm under, I pick up bits and pieces here. This is my place and I try to keep an eye on it, but last I heard, she was trying to take Montreal again. She sent a pack out to Montreal, I guess, a few weeks ago. Her own child, Alexander Ross, was leading it. He went to Montreal, but I don't know what became of them. She's been obsessed with retaking it. Other than that, I felt something happen, which I think is what woke me up. A few nights ago, maybe.
Yeah. That lines up. But you're basically useless other than that.
This is your place and all. What's the deal with these long red halls? Obviously, you built that for something.
No, I didn't build this. It wasn't like this when I ran it. It wasn't like this when I went to sleep. Did they fuck around in the abyss? What could they be doing?
That's what it tastes like. The abyss.
I had a weird moment when I was under. Thought I heard. Oh God, what the fuck did they do?
Heard what?
I heard someone I know call for help. Someone that shouldn't be fucking calling for help.
Okay. I imagine if you heard it, the call was from in this room.
He looks you up and down and goes, "Name Shalim mean anything to you?"
Maybe.
Yes or no, it's not a fucking trick question.
I'd heard it before, but no.
Well, let me put it this way. Shalim's just not the kind of person you'd expect to be calling for help from inside the abyss. Shalim is fucking abyss, or at least is connected to it in a way that goes beyond what you or I will ever fucking experience. What did they do in this fucking place?
Well, the elders gathered here, right? Chanted some things. There was a very weird red-looking dude who obviously knows my friend here, and then they disappeared into a door in your club, down a hall. It's on tape.
Oh, that's that group, I think. like, was like a cult or some shit.
Yeah, and you don't need to talk about it in front of. He points to Stacy.
Ooh. We're playing the name game. I
For?
freaking remember what we're talking about.
Are you feeling something strange about... Are you having difficulty reaching the void from here? I'm having a hell of a fucking time. Alright, what the fuck did they do?
Yeah. Okay, well... asking what the fuck did they do to the void isn't really going to answer the question.
He's walking around, kind of like looking around, trying to get a feel for... Alright, well, you know, for the first time since I met you, you're right. We're not gonna fucking figure it out just by standing here and hollering. We'll have to go back in. Whatever they did, they mucked around with the abyss somehow. We're gonna have to go in there, and that's where we're gonna get answers. Oh, don't worry.
Oh.
Shake your head all you want. You ain't coming in there. You're gonna stay right here.
No, you're damn right. I'm not going in there, and neither are they. That's not really the best idea.
Excuse you? Neither are they. Say who?
I said it out my mouth.
Okay, sorry, Dad.
Are you two a married couple or something? Because your fucking bickering's getting on my nerves.
Ugh.
She fucking wishes.
All right.
No, I don't, actually.
Acceptance is the first step. I just don't think walking around in the void is the best thing to be doing right now. Somebody knows you. They're looking for you. That's walking into a trap.
They called you out by your name. Is that what you're saying?
They wrote my name in blood on the wall.
Oh, I'm sure that's nothing. All right.
Basically, my thoughts.
You're going to come with me. We're going to go in there. We're going to try to sort it out. And your boyfriend here can hang out and watch and make sure that no one comes up behind us.
First of all, not boyfriend. Second of all, what other choice do I have? Is there another way to figure this out? Exactly.
Yeah, by not going in. Also, first of all, you fucking wish. Second of all, why? Why walking into the void is the, you know what?
That's where answers are. That's where the answers are, buddy.
Fine.
Look, Stacy, our friend here has a point. All of the shit that's going on here has to do with the void, and I think that's where the answers are.
He grabs a chair, sits down, and he goes,
You gonna be okay there?
Just fucking go! Just go! Just go!
Jesus Christ.
All
Okay,
right.
whatever.
I trust you know how to do this. I don't have to teach you.
Yeah.
You've been there before with your own accord. No,
you know,
haven't.
you're around for a
God damn
couple hundred years.
What kind of fucking amateurs did they send for this shit?
You don't know what you're doing?
Fuck you.
You don't know how to go into the void and you want to walk in? Sure. No, but fine.
All
Fuck
right.
right? Sure.
All right. Enough out of you. Let's get out from under this fucking... The fuck is this? Molasses? Let's get out from under here. He goes back over to where his coffin is and he closes it and he pushes it back inside the wall and it kind of disappears inside the wall and it leaves just kind of like this little bench there. And he sits down on it and he pulls his legs up and he's like, come on, sit down in front of me.
Okay.
He looks at you, Ian. We're not back in 10 minutes. Wait longer. All right. You've not traveled there before, but you've contacted the void before, right? You've touched the abyss before.
Yeah, I've not been there, but yeah, I've been, yeah, I know.
God. All right. Well, que sera, I guess. He reaches out and he takes your hands and he says, close your eyes. You're going to picture it. You're going to think about every time you've touched it, every time you've reached out for it, every time it's responded to you. You got to feel the emptiness. You got to feel the void. You got to feel it take over you. You got to empty your head. You got to empty your heart. And you got to become a vessel. You got to open yourself up completely to it. Yeah, just keep your mind on it. And then, Ian, what you see in the room is that slowly the shadows start to creep out and they start to envelop the two of them. You watch as these shadows just slide over them almost like liquid and cover both of them. And his voice gets weaker and weaker and weaker and sounds further and further and further away. And as these shadows sort of wash over them and then down onto the ground, you see that they're gone. The alcove is darker than it was before. You can see shadows moving inside, shadows almost in the shape of the two of them. And now you're alone in the room.
Guess I'll sing a song while I wait.
Armada. As you listen to his voice and as you turn inward and as you reach out for the abyss, you feel that resistance again, but with Felix there guiding you and helping you, that resistance is almost nil. And you push through very easily. And suddenly, your senses are completely enveloped by the darkness around you. You see the face hovering in the darkness, the eyes that gaze upon you. There's something strange and different about the feel of it. It's not as peaceful or as calming as the touch of it usually is. And as the void looks back at you, And I've been watching you. I've taken great pleasure in watching the darkness you've spread over the world. Here's one who truly understands that there is no hope. That all of this cannot be saved. It must be destroyed and rebuilt. Aren't you tired of being controlled, Amaranth? Don't you want to unleash hell on all the hands wrapped around your neck, break the chains, feed them their lies and their own blood? Don't you wish to know who you really are? Tell me, Amaranth. Do you wish to know?
What the fuck? Is Felix detectable?
Yeah, he's there, but he's kind of distant, and he's kind of a very thin shadow, and you can hear him yelling your name and trying to kind of reach for you, but all that you see in this space is this strange entity that's hovering deep in the void. Tell me, Amaranth.
What? I want to die.
I know.
Is what I want.
I know. That's why you're here.
What the fuck are you?
Some see the void as an absence, but it's not. The void is a thing unto itself, a necessary part of the world. Did you wonder, Amaranth, why it left you alive? Out of all your pack's members, out of all your friends, did you not wonder why you were left alive?
Yes.
Do you wish to know why?
Wondered. Yes. Do you have that answer?
I do. But first, let's get rid of the unnecessary baggage. Outside. In.
Walking in Memphis.
You are sitting there singing your song, wondering what the fuck's going on. And then you hear noise coming from down the corridor, from where the other room was. You hear movement, you hear chatter.
He wants to do the hello, but he knows that that's not. Okay. Do I see anything? Anything at all?
You lean out and you look, and you see movement all the way down the tunnel, past the blue and red room, and into the main area where the party had been held. You see figures moving there. You hear things being moved, a chair, something falls, a glass breaks. There seems to be a number of people in that room.
Okay. Still black hole of them doing void things, correct?
Well, as you turn around, you see falling out of that little alcove, falling straight out of the darkness, you see Armada's body flop down onto the ground and lay unmoving.
Hey. Still looking. Hey. Fuck. All right. It starts to move them out from the middle of the floor.
As you pick up Armada's body and start moving it, you look down and you can see like a horde of people. There's like over 20 people now in that room. They're kind of shuffling zombie-like, but they're not zombies. You can tell that they're not zombies or anything like that. They're like normal people who just seem to be very kind of confused and lost, and they turn at the sound of you moving Armada, and they see you, and they all start to move as a mass towards you down the corridor leading into the blue and red room and towards where you are.
I'd like to close this door if that's a possibility.
You go ahead and you close the door. When you close it, you realize that on the other side, of course, there was like this, it was this solid red wood door with that black crown image on it. And you notice when you close it that it's built in such a way that there's a digital screen in it. And it allows you to see what's on the other side. And thank you, Help Action Needed, for the raid. Really appreciate it. Thank you for coming in, Sean. Thank you so much. And through it, you can see the figures still moving and coming towards you. And it's not long before you see that horde up against the door, and you hear them strike at the door, and you see them through this strange digital camera. You see them kind of all masked up, and they're hammering at the door. They're hammering at it. The door is starting to shake under the weight of this mass of people, and they're like getting all over each other as they're trying to get to this door.
Okay. Come on, Ursula. Wake up. Shit's not funny. Hello? Just smacking the side of her face.
You do not manage to help her, and as you look up at the door through that strange digital screen, you can see that horde trying to get through the door, trying to break through, piling on top of each other, trying to get to you.
Okay, 20 is a bit excessive. Okay, hello? Fuck, okay,
You look around the room. The only other thing that you see that's there is that trap door, and as you look at it, you notice that it's open.
Okay, cool. Fine. He takes a piece of Armada's hair, he cuts it with the knife that he has, and he puts it in his pocket, and he jumps in the trapdoor.
You leave Armada's body there, or do you take it with you? I'm not clear. Whatever you want to do. I just want you to clarify for me because I'm not sure what you did.
Okay, he took a piece of their hair because of Royce. That could be like, look, I did the thing. But I think before he gets to the trapdoor, he kind of regrets doing that, and then he drags her over to it, and he's like, fucking shit, Ursula, and just kind of pushes them in the trapdoor.
You see their body tumble down and fall into what appears to be a tunnel below with a flop.
Okay. Okay, here we go. We wait.
You go down?
Yeah.
You go down into the pit. Meanwhile, back inside the void. You can't hear or see Felix anymore. He's gone. It's just you and this face staring at you. Well, now that it's just us.
What did you do to him?
I just put him back in his own little room, so to speak. He's got a little oubliette here. I just close the door on him. He'll be fine.
Why are you calling me Amaranth?
That's your name, isn't it?
Hardly anymore.
Well, you think that Armada is more your name? You think that's who you are?
I hardly have a name, but I have recognition.
These things you lack are what make you so enticing. You are barely a person anymore. You're barely someone. You have cut off so many parts of yourself and given them away to the Sabbat and the Black Hand and everybody else. There's not much of you left. And that means you're so close to understanding.
Close to being nothing.
Exactly. And that is what you need to be. You remember when it happened. You remember when you stood there and this thing that you'd awakened tore through your friends, your packmates. While you stood there, immobile, unable to defend yourself if it attacked you or help your packmates or do anything. You just stood there and felt their blood decorate you. What you faced that day, I know you and some of the others think it was maybe a gangrel, Methuselah, but it wasn't. It was something much older. It was something that does not need to sully its hands. It was something that does not sully its hands. And so, Armada, my question for you is, if all your friends died and you didn't, and this thing does not sully its hands, who did the killing?
What?
Who did the killing?
It did.
In the matter of speaking. This thing does not sully its hands. This thing does not even rise from where it is hidden. This thing reaches out with its mind. And this thing takes what it wants. And this thing moves pieces where it wants them to be. And this thing makes people do what it wants. This thing rearranges people's memories and minds and thought to suit its purposes. So I ask you again, Amaranth, who did the killing that day? And as you listen to its words, your memories of the events start to shift. You don't lose the ones that you have, but they start to overlay and overlap with others. You see your hands turning into long bony claws for some reason. It's not something you can do. You see the uncomprehending stare of your packmates as they look at you, as you rip through them, as you sever their limbs and their heads, as you bite into them, as you drain them, as you drink and gorge on their blood. And then you see yourself standing there watching all of this happen around you, watching this whirlwind destroy them, but then that whirlwind is you. And there is something in your head, there is a hand and fingers in your brain that is not only moving you and making you do what it wants, but it's affecting what you can do. It's changing what your body can do. It is completely rearranging you to be exactly what it needs you to be in that moment. And it's becoming very difficult to tell which set of memory is real. The things that are awakening are not things that you can comprehend. They're not things that you can fight. They are things that exist beyond even my ability to fully understand.
Who are you?
Shalim, one of the elders of your blood. Long ago I began merging with the abyss. Now I am part of it. And so I can touch and see and feel all those who are in contact with it, all those of our blood. That is why I know you. That is why I've seen what you have done even when you could not. That is why I've sought you out.
Are you telling me that's real? That it did that to me?
It took you. And it did what it wanted with you. And then it made you forget it. And it let you live with the lie, with the guilt of being the only survivor, because it's bored, because this is what interests it, because in this way it sows fear and confusion and it hides. Might as well ask the wind why it blows, or blood why it's wet.
I don't fucking understand the point of that. I don't understand. We're always fucking fighting these things. You said it wasn't a gangrel, so then what was it?
My best guess is perhaps an Elder Zimshi or follower of Set or something else that we don't even know about. It was kindred, in a matter of speaking, just very old, very ancient. But when I say the world as is cannot be saved, it is because there are things like that in it. Do you think that we can defeat this? Do you think that we can bring back the world the way we knew it when this isn't it now?
No, the world can't be anything it was. It's...
Then everything must end so that it can begin again. And only those who understand that have the will and the power to effect that change.
So let me get this fucking straight, right? So you're pointing out to me how I've always been a pawn, from the embrace to the Sabbat to this fucking thing, fucking taking me and making me kill my pack, and now we've been brought here. So what? So you can make me a fucking pawn too?
It's easy to think of emptiness in a nihilistic way, but the truth about it is that emptiness is a source of freedom, of possibility, of clarity. It's a canvas for becoming. The void is not a vacuum to be feared. It's a canvas for becoming. Within it, you can become anything you want. Just as silence gives music its shape, or the pause gives thought its depth, the absence of fixed meaning allows for endless potential. All things rise and fall away. Rather than clinging to the illusion of permanence, we celebrate the change, the dissolution, the spaces between. The void teaches us that nothing is final, and therefore, everything is possible. But most importantly, the self is a construct that arises in the void, not separate from it. Letting go of the ego allows you to merge with the openness of existence and frees you from fear.
You say that you've seen everything. Do you know why I want to die?
Tell me.
No. I want your guess. If you know everything about me, why could it possibly be that I want to die?
You want to die.
Uh-huh.
Because you fear that otherwise you will simply live forever. You will go on living forever with no end in sight. And in all that time will never get the knowledge that you need to understand who you are and what your purpose is. You fear living until the sun explodes and destroys everything around you. And maybe then, still going on living with no end and no rest.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't want to be a pawn that whole time either. So
if you wish to no longer be a pawn, there is only one thing you can do. And that's to destroy everything around you until all of it is gone. And only when all of it and all the strictures and all the rules and all the people and all is gone will you cease to serve. And that is what we need from you.
When it's all gone is when I will cease to serve. Incredible.
Meanwhile, as you ponder this. Stacy. You find yourself in a long hallway. There's a strange red mist that smells of blood and rust that fills this place. There is strange echoes of voices, of people moving, memories, maybe echoes fading. As you look down that long red corridor, you become aware of a presence at the other end. You are standing there, Armada's body on the floor in front of you, unmoving, unresponsive. And you hear echoing down the hall a woman's voice and says, "Where are you going with that tasty little morsel? Is that an offering for me?"
No? Who are you?
At the very end of the hall in that dark room, you see movement. This is my home. I would think that if you came to visit, that you would bring me a gift.
I'm still confused on who our host is.
You see movement, and out of the darkness steps out a woman with long, pale, blonde white hair, dripping in blood. Her face is a mixture of pale white skin and dried old blood. Her blood is dripping from her black lips as she steps forward. This is my home. I am Mosaic of Clan Tremere.
Okay, well.
You remember the name. She's one of the 3 elders that's supposed to have disappeared.
Yeah. Okay, well. Some of us have been looking for you.
Oh. I'm touched. Really, I am. Why did you need something?
Not me personally, but people want to know why you disappeared.
I didn't disappear. I've been right here the entire time. Sure, Anabelle went off to serve the lady in blue, but I don't need any fucking masters. I'm perfectly happy right down here in my little charnel pit. I can eat as much as I want.
What lady in blue? What lady in blue? What have you been eating?
Why do you want to know? She starts moving forward towards you.
Hold on. We just met. Don't want to be too presumptuous. Who's the lady in blue?
The lady in blue, the human who wields strange powers, who came to talk to us. Kalome is her name.
Kalome. Okay.
She came from a dark pyramid in Montreal, I think. She wanted us to go with her, but I didn't see no point in that. I don't know what Montreal has to offer that Quebec doesn't have. Plus, I've made myself a cozy little home here, as you can see. She takes a few more steps forward, and Anabelle and Narsen wanted to go, and they went. But I never liked Montreal. It's very it's got churches everywhere and a big cross on the mountain. It's just not pleasant being there. Are you sure that's not for me? She looks very tasty. I could take her off your hands, and then you could just turn around and go back up. What is that racket up there? And you can hear the doors being broken down upstairs. What on earth is that racket?
That is your gift up there.
Oh. Well, we've already had those.
And that's what you've been eating?
Well, partly. I have a store. I like to keep food in reserve for lean times, and the times have been a little lean. Takes a few more steps towards you. Are you hungry? We could share. She seems strong enough to feed the both of us. I don't need just the blood. I need the flesh also, but you can have some of the blood.
Just 1 second, turns to Armada. I don't know what the fuck you're doing, but you need to wake up right the fuck now, or you're gonna be a snack, and I don't really know how I feel about that. Hello, sorry. No, this one's not ripe for eating. You may need to trim a little bit from your reserve.
She looks well seasoned, like she's been around and done some things. That blood on her skin, it seems almost baked in, like she's been dipped in it one too many times.
This is starting. We've overstayed our welcome. Me and my friend we're just gonna leave now.
Well, the only way out is up there. And as she says that, you hear the door upstairs crack open, and you hear the sound of the horde as they start stomping through the room. You're safe down here with me. They won't come down here unless I let them. Would you like me to invite them down? You're a strange one. I wonder, why are you here? I don't think that if I wasn't me, this is a place that I would want to be. And I don't think you want to be here either. I'm sensing that you're really not happy with being here. So why are you here?
They have a job. And she's part of it.
Job? What kind of job would be worth coming in here for? This is hell. What kind of job would be worth coming in here for? Who do you serve that would send you in a place like this? They're the ones you should be eating.
Himself. Listen, this one's not on the menu to eat. If anything,
are you sure?
Is to happen to, I'm positive.
Why?
If anything's to happen to them, because I'm gonna do it. Okay? So go eat your reserves. Go now. Please.
You still haven't told me why you're here.
I don't know. I don't really know. I don't want to be here. I don't half the people I killed. I really don't know why. And the only reason why I do it is because their name is on the list. It's my job.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah.
Look at me.
It sounds like a good job.
Look at me. I wouldn't do that job. I wouldn't do that job. And here you are. What's that say about you?
I have a strange obsession with torture, apparently.
So do I, actually, but...
Okay. You're not eating this one.
Is that your final decision?
Oh. Unfortunately. What now? We kiss? You want to arm wrestle? What do you want to do?
Now? Oh. Now it rains. And as she says that, you start hearing the first loud pop, and then the second one, and you see, as you look over your shoulder, the 26 humans that were upstairs start raining down on you as they throw themselves into the pit, plopping onto the ground, getting up, and coming towards you.
Oh, shit. You really need to wake up. Armada, like, this is not... Okay,
Meanwhile, inside the fields of darkness, Armada. The eyes in the dark peer right at you, right into you. The conflicting memories are still there. You're not sure what's real, what's illusion. You're not sure if this thing is telling you the truth. You're not sure if your memories are yours, if these new memories are real. Everything is completely jumbled and confusing, and then it looks at you and it says, you don't have to do anything except go out there and be yourself and remember that you are nothing. You are nothing. And the world around you is nothing.
So, create more nothing. Is that what nothing does?
Nothing is the space where something new can flourish. But before something new can flourish in nothingness, the nothingness must be complete. And, my dear Amaranth, this includes you. This means that you have to end, and everything around you has to end. And once everything is gone, including yourself, then maybe something new can arise from it.
So So, why does it have to happen in that order? Why don't I just...
That's the beauty of it, Amaranth. You're not listening to me. If nothing matters, nothing matters. There is no order. There is no cause. There is no justification. There is no right. There is no wrong. There is only what you do. Every moment you will reinvent yourself. Every moment you will be someone new. You will be who you need to be in that moment to do what you need to do. Nothing matters. There is no point to it. It's ultimate freedom.
See, I guess there's one thing that I'm still struggling with. Because if we're out here to destroy everything, are we capable of destroying what the Sabbat can't?
Once everything is gone and there is nothing left for those ancient ones to feed on, they will turn on each other, and then once that is done and there is only one left, they will have nothing to feed on. And they will die. And then there will truly be nothing.
You know, I've been, the only thing I've been holding on to is the fact that I don't want to just end it for myself, you know? I want something to be strong enough to take me out. Where does that fit in this? Is this something where, like, I work to destroy it all and then let 12 people turn on me and try to take me out? I mean, I've been there before. I've dealt with that. You know, 12, big, whatever, number, bigger number, whatever, doesn't matter. What takes me out?
It doesn't matter. Something will. It may be something more powerful than you. It may be something less powerful than you. But lucky. For example, your close friend, Ophelia.
What about Ophelia?
Would you say she was one of the single deadliest kindred who ever lived? A Banu Hakim, old, experienced, powerful in ways that were difficult to comprehend for most other kindred?
She's the only one who could ever kill me. And to some respect, she did.
Well, someone killed her.
Great.
And
Great.
just to prove that nothing matters, the person who killed her had not the ability in any way, shape, or form to do so. They were lucky. They stumbled upon her. Nothing matters.
What do you mean they just stumbled upon her? What does that mean? What does that fucking mean?
Ask. But in order to ask, you have to be out there.
What does that mean, be out there? What?
If you
I'm
want to
asking.
find out what happened to her, you can't be dead. You have to be alive. And you have to be searching. And you have to be doing what you do best.
What do I do best? Enlighten me.
This. And suddenly your eyes open. You're lying on the ground. You see, standing above you, Stacy, 7 or 8 people climbing on top of him, trying to tear him down. He's fighting them off as best he can. You're in some strange, dark red corridor. Blood is dripping on you from all the wounds that Stacy has taken that he has inflicted on the others.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I fucking wink you?
What the fuck is this, Stacy? You had one job!
20! There's 20 fucking people trying to take me out! I'm sorry if your nap was interrupted.
As you see these people piling on top of him, you notice that all of them are stripped down, most of them covered in blood, wounds. All of them on their chest have this hand-drawn ink tattoo of an upside-down black pyramid with the word Servium on top. All of them, as they crowd around you, as they threaten to overwhelm you, you will give me a rouse check to begin with.
I failed.
You gain another hunger, which puts you at 4, I believe.
That would be correct.
The feeling inside of you right now is a strange one. It's this feeling that you've had before connecting to the abyss, connecting to the void. There's this kind of feeling of emptiness inside of you, but it's strange. It's different. There's something a little off about it. It's not a sense of emptiness in a sense of a place to fill. It's a sense of emptiness that is, like I was saying earlier, an empty canvas. It's a sense of possibility. It's a blank page that is just waiting for you to decide what you're going to put on it. What do you wish to do?
I want to make it dark in here. I want to make it really fucking dark in here.
Stacy, all of a sudden you can't see anything. Everything has become dark. All you feel are hands grabbing onto you, human teeth biting into you. You're fighting them off as best you can. Both of you, what do you want to do?
Fuck these things. I'm gonna start just going for it. I'm ripping necks out.
Well, I'm not at Hunger 5 yet. Technically, Shadowcast there counts has a rouse check that I pass immaculately. And then, if I could, maybe finally summon my arms again.
You absolutely can.
Oh, what's that? Another rouse check that I pass. Let's go.
Make your roll, see how many of these tentacles you get.
I think it... Okay, there we go. I'm just rolling the 10 plus...
So right now you're rolling 4 hunger dice.
Yeah.
You're rolling 1d10,
Yeah.
unless you want to spend night move and get an advantage and roll 2d10s.
I think I will. Okay. Nothing on the hunger dice. That is, it's a 7 on the die, and then what is that, physical?
Yeah.
Or would I add something to
Yeah.
it?
And +1 for your occult.
Right, so 15.
Okay. So 5 tentacles erupt from the darkness and start battering the humans that are piling up on Stacy. Stacy, go ahead and give me, are you doing using a discipline, or are you just kind of trying to fight them off?
I'm gonna try and fight them off, but I still want to use obdurate to kind of like plant myself there where I'm standing. Kind of give me a little more boost.
Excellent. No problem. So go ahead and roll your physical plus combat.
Okay. I'm going to use a night move for this as well.
Good.
Okay. So nothing on the hunger, and then that is 18 total.
Excellent. You reach out, and as you're kind of reaching out and grabbing, you find something. Your hand grabs hold of something kind of soft and squishy, and you squeeze it, and you feel blood erupt, and you feel whatever you grabbed kind of shake, and you're pretty certain you've killed someone. You've killed one of these humans that's attacking you. Now, the rest of them are going to try to batter you down. Oops. So that's going to be 4 successful hits. So you're going to take 4 health as a number of them are battering you down and just slamming down on top of you, grabbing at you, biting. You can heal. These wounds by making rouse checks. So every turn you can make a rouse check to try and heal a number of these wounds, which I think your blood potency is 2, so you can make a rouse check to try and heal 2 wounds every turn as they start kind of hammering you down. You had 5 tentacles. I'm not going to make you roll for each tentacle. I'm just going to roll to see if any of them have any chance of escaping. One of them will escape, but 4 of them will be battered. So you feel your tentacles kind of swiping around, pulling some of them down, battering some of the others. You hear screams, you feel blood kind of splash at you as some of them are crushed and destroyed. It's completely dark. Neither you can see. Actually, you can probably see Armada, but it's pitch black in here. You're surrounded. There's like this mass of people, basically, like they're just swarming you at this point. What would you like to do? It's back to your action now that we've gone around. What would you like to do?
So being that the arms are going off, I'll put my own arms to use. Because I haven't actually played with potence before. Can I just add prowess to anything?
So
Like,
normally,
I just-
prowess will add, normally would add dice. So what it will do in this particular case is that it will give you an advantage on combat rolls.
Great. Yeah, so I'll activate that.
Okay.
And then lethal body is always passive.
Always on, yeah.
Always on. Okay, great. Let's see how this goes. Still successful. Incredible. And yeah, I'm just gonna reach out for somebody. I imagine I could have a little bit of a better sense of where things are because of the arms, and I can kind of use them to detect as well. So
No problem.
yeah, I'm just gonna grab somebody out of the darkness and
So make your
tear 'em
physical
apart.
and combat roll at advantage. So you roll a number of dice equal to your hunger, and then you
roll a number of dice equal
to
to
your hunger, and then 2 regular dice.
Right, okay, thank you. I'm like, what? Okay, I got a crit on the hunger die, but I got a 12. I'm not adding anything to that, yeah.
Okay.
Or
So the
combat, I guess. So 13.
The crit on the hunger roll means a messy critical. You can
That's
avoid
fine.
it by spending a 9 move, or you can roll with it.
I feel like I still have these. I still have these night moves. I might as well use them.
Okay, so you spend a 9 move, so you don't get a messy critical. You just get a regular hit. With your, I'll double your damage with your lethal body. You feel another one kind of crumble beneath your attack. It's very difficult to tell what's going on, again, because it's so dark and they're all kind of pressed on you. You have no clue if you're kind of injuring the same one twice or not, and they're really kind of starting to mass up on you, and we'll see the effect of that in a second, but I want to go to Stacy first and see what is your action.
I'm going to keep chomping away at whatever's in front of me. It's still unearthly dark, so this wouldn't make any sense. I don't know if this will work, but I want to try slavish devotion.
My feeling is that because you can't see, it's probably not going to work.
Or probably not, right?
The vampire is trying to monitor their
Strength
dominating
in-
its interference. No, it's not going to do anything, fortunately.
It's not going to work. I had to be dominated first. Okay, cool. Well, first I'm going to do that rouse check to see if I can heal myself. Solid. Passed on the rouse, so I get 2.
Yep.
A potent, solid. Perfect. I'm just going to continue to start swiping at what's around me, and then use a night move for the roll as well. Okay. Okay, so I got a 10 on the hunger die, and it's a total of, well, I'm sorry, is it still physical in combat?
Yes.
So that's going to be 13 total.
Do you want to avoid the messy critical, or do you want to deal with it?
I'm going to deal with it. I think in this particular moment, like, Stacy is given into his job. Like, he's an Alastor. He deals with people. I'm dealing with this now.
You get a messy critical. You grab someone, and you feel, as you grab them, you feel something give way, and you're certain that you've managed to kill another one, even though they're kind of crowding you, and it's kind of difficult. And you sort of move to try and grab somebody else, and as you do, there's so much blood on the floor that your foot slips, and you sort of twist around. And as you do, your hand that was grabbing onto whatever you were holding on to kind of rips out. Your hand spins around. You fall on the ground. on your back, and they just dogpile you. They just draw all on top of you.
Great.
So that was your action. Let me do their action, as a bunch of them are going to dogpile on you. So that's 3 of them are going to be successful, so you're going to take 3 more damage. And a number of them are going to attack. And I'm dividing in half the number that are attacking to take into account the darkness. So I'm only having half of them succeed, because instead of rolling all of them at disadvantage, I'm just rolling half of them at regular. I got 4 successes on this one. 2 of them are crits. So Armada, as they fall down on Stacy, and just kind of, like I just said, like completely sort of dogpile on him. And the floor is getting slippery, and a bunch of them are circling around. You're going to take 5 damage as a whole bunch of them, including 2 with crits, grab onto you and are holding onto you and are biting you and are ripping at your hair and are striking you in the face and are just trying to drag you down to where Stacy is on the floor, and you're having difficulty kind of keeping your footing at this point. You can also try to heal if you want. You're going to do a rouse check if you want to heal equal to your blood potency, which is 2.
Yeah, I think I would like to heal.
Might be a good idea.
So it's blank. So that it's hunger 5. Do I heal though?
Did you get to hunger 5?
I did. It's important. Look, it's fine.
Stacy, suddenly you can see. The darkness is gone. You are under 6 or 7 humans that are just biting at you. They're gnawing at you. They're just, you can tell that they are starving for vampire blood. The darkness is gone. You wonder why for a second. And then you look up. And when you look at Armada, you see someone completely different. Her face is distorted. Her jaws are wide open. Her fangs out. Her eyes are red. She has these bestial features that have taken over her face. Her hands have become deformed, almost like claws, but you can see that it's just her hand. She doesn't actually have claws. They're just like kind of beastly and bestial looking now. And as you lay there and you watch this Elder Lasombra fall prey to frenzy, fall prey to the beast, you, and here, this is what it's like. This is what it's like. In 1 second.
Very excited to find out what it's like.
I hear that not many know what it's like.
Do you know what it's like?
Perhaps I do.
Stacy, you lie completely still, rooted, unable to lift even a hand. Around you, this entire group of human ghosts almost is being decomposed into the basic building materials of their physicality. Blood, flesh, bone, tendons, sinews, blood, so much blood. Armada is like a dark mist moving among all of them faster than you can realize. She looks ancient, horrific, alien. You stand perfectly still. The eye of a bloody storm is all around you. These humans are decimated one by one, their blood carried on the whirlwind to paint your face crimson. You watch as the beast that was once Armada devours and destroys all living matter around you. And as you watch the last few fall, a little thought creeps into your mind. A little story you heard at some point. Someone who was saying, these ancients are just like humans. They will devour everything until nothing is left to devour, and then turn on each other. And you realize the only other thing that still has blood in it, in this corridor, with that beast, is you.
Hey, girly. You good?
There's no response. There's a monster there. It's busy finishing off what's left. It's not even drinking, it's just destroying. And then you speak. And you see it crane its neck and look at you. And you see that Armada's not there. Armada's gone. And to answer Silver Rest, Mosaic de Tremere is long fucking gone.
Okay. You know, back on the island, I used to wrestle eels, but I don't know if I'm ready for how slippery you're about to be, Armada. Okay.
You know that your bloodline, Stacy, there are those in your bloodline who turn the other cheek. There are those in your bloodline who take the pain of others onto themselves, and in doing so, heal them, soothe them. It's never something you've been able to do. You've always been a warrior, part of the warrior caste of the Salubri. But you know that's in your blood somewhere. And while you've never done it, you were gonna try. Might be the time to do it.
Okay, Ursula, I don't really know how this is gonna fucking go, but it's gonna be fun. And then I pounce on whatever part of Armada's available to try and do this, because all he knows is like, control, right? Okay, this is what we're gonna do. And then I use, I'm probably gonna say it wrong, but Panacea.
Panacea. You feel that familiar tingle as the third eye in the middle of your forehead opens up. you see, as you always do when that happens, extra layers to the reality. You see the light of her aura. You see the beast that is just slowly eating away at her. You can see the last little bit of Armada left. Tiny little bit. And you reach out for it. And as you reach out for it, you draw it into your body. You draw it into you. Go ahead and make me a mental plus insight roll. You can, if you want, put some night moves into that.
Yeah, we'll put some stank on it. Let's see what's good. Okay. So good on the hunger. I got a 10 on the die. Total is 16. Because you said insight, correct?
Yeah. You draw Armada inside of you. When you do, you feel this incredible sense of emptiness fill you. You sense a melancholy that is almost indescribable. You feel as if you've just absorbed a vacuum, basically. You've just absorbed this hole. And it settles in on you. And you can feel the conflict in there. There's part of it that wants to be okay with this and part of it that doesn't. And it sits on you so uneasily. You feel the fact that she has committed diablerie, that stain. You can almost feel it inside of you now, like wearing wet socks or something. It's just this uncomfortable feeling. You see everything that she's done. You see all the blood she spilled, all the kindred, all the humans, the werewolves, everything that she's killed. There's so much death and blood that there's almost nothing else to see. Armada, as you felt the beast completely take over, you felt yourself being pushed further and further into a small ball in the smallest corner of your soul. And then you feel warm, beautiful, light hands grab you and pull you out and bring you somewhere else, somewhere nice and warm. And you settle in. And you see the conflict that's raging inside of Stacy. You see the questions he's asking himself. You see his longing for family, for tribe, for all these things that he's lost that he feels he can never go back to. Stacy, as you reach out with your panacea, your ancient power of your bloodline, you quell the beast. You encircle it with warm light and you push it back further and further inside, and it rages and it gnaws at you and it gnashes its teeth, but you hold firm. You can feel Armada inside of you. You know she's depending on you. You know that if you fail in this, both of you are probably dead. And so you keep pushing and you push and you push, and you manage to slowly put that beast back in its lair. You reach back inside of you to try and move Armada back into her body. Armada, you feel these hands again take you, warm and comforting. Something you've never felt, but rarely ever felt in your life. Hands that are actually caring about you. There's something in Stacy's soul that tells you that regardless of everything that's happened and everything that's been said and all the differences between the two of you, there's a part of him that cares for you just as it cares for almost everybody else. Without question, you've never understood that. You've never felt that. And as you leave his body and are placed back in your body, which feels once again like your body and your home, the last thing you see as you are pulled out of him is the face of Ophelia. As the light goes out of her eyes. And that, my friends, is where we're going to end tonight. The second part of Cardinal Rule.